Hello, everybody. Angel Wolf here, and showing off some of the stuff that's going on. Stoopid. Got the game here, and I thought I'd start off here by showing off some of our new maps that Don has been working on. Load those up and have a look. Now, these are all still rough drafts, so don't think that this is going to be an actual representation of the final product. We've still got a lot of lighting and tinkering to work with, but he's coming along as a level editor pretty well, I do must say. Oh, everything's working. Dropping a lot of frames yesterday, so I lowered my bitrate just a little bit. Okay, so here we are. Fill in a little bit as it compiles the shaders. This is the backyard arena. But basically, we've got these two cameras. Look down upon the table. Give it a minute. I already see there's quite a few props here. We got some busted up machinery. Box. An old slide and some cows. The cows are going to moo. We're going to add some sound effects so that the cows moo. Okay, so the textures are done. Got something still pretty bad over here. Like he was playing around with putting a street down. It just kind of looks like it looks like something out of a Fallout where all the weeds are coming up through the what remains of the cement. So yeah, that's the backyard map, and then we also have a new marshland map, which we'll check out. All right, looks like he's been doing some sculpting. Then, see, we have our board raised above the marshland. Predators out here, some bears. We'll make them do things when certain cards happen. Same basic setup, two cameras up above, looking down. So the third one he has is the scrapyard. Haven't seen yet because I just got it from the repository. I just pulled it down. Have a look at it. It is. Oh yeah, this is going to take a while. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. Got a lot of stuff to load, I guess. It's moving a little bit, Take a drink. This is one of the things about being a game dev. Be prepared to sit and wait a lot. Which is why I have music playing in the background. Which you guys can't hear because I don't want to get flagged. Always good to have something to keep your mind occupied for these moments where it's just you're waiting, waiting, and waiting. Around the level to show you guys. I went to. There I go again. I'm singing. I've got it cranked way down, but there's nothing else to do. It was worse when I used to have to compile stuff, though. Compiling would take hours. I'd have like an emulator running old Nintendo games. Pick up whenever I was compiling, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go play the emulator now. Well, I can relax a little bit. Got my Got my iced tea. Vaporizer. Watermelon vape. It's always long the first time when you load. Whenever you load a map in Unreal Engine 4, first time is always. Ooh, wow. Wow, that's a dense map. 1,000 shaders to check out. Wow. Wow. Put a backhoe in there. Big piles of tires. That's the other fun thing about being a dev. I get to check out other people's work. Get to load up. Oh, I've never seen this map yet. Ah! Oh, I almost spilled my juice all over the place. Wow, I just made him sound like my mom. Haven't heard that sound in a while. Ah! To make that noise whenever she'd see a silverfish down in the basement. All right, let's do a flyover, even though the textures look all messed up. Because wow, we got an old tanker here. I don't know if any of this is really going to get seen much, except maybe in a flyby. Camera sees. Uh, Camera sees all this right here. 500. There's almost too much ambient occlusion there. That looks really dark. Oh, there comes the water. Comes the water. Still, that ambient occlusion looks like everything's gloom. Everything's just covered in gloom. Finally see some detail on the boat. As the textures finally pop in. Now, these were also the we also had substance. These were substance textures too, so I remember this building. I'm the one that had to figure out why we weren't getting textures on this building. Oh, that's nice. No one's ever gonna see it unless we do like a swing, do some kind of like camera movement in. You know, start off like here and move in, then finally finish point. You know, stop the camera where it is. So I'd basically draw a line backwards. I'd move the camera and then do the animation so that it ends here. You know what I mean? So I have the camera swoop over and see some of the detail we got here. Am I going so slow? I gotta crank up the speed. All right, so we got piles of tires, stacked up busted cars. That's nice, but they're the same car. And we got preview textures at the bottom. Or is that preview lighting? Yeah, that's preview lighting, I think. That's why it's all. Is there even a texture there? Okay, there is. It just looks really, really. It's almost see-through. All right, so that is the new scrapyard map. Uh-oh, why are those floating so high? That's not good. They're at a different height. Up and down. Right? Did it look wrong on the other side? Probably because it doesn't have anything under it. Yeah, it doesn't have under it. I would put something under there. Anyway, let's get to programming here. Unless anyone has any questions. I'm always here for questions. Let me get off that there. I just want some Back up with the main menu. We also have one more new little thing I'm going to show you, which is something that our new team member Richard added for us. Have guy Richard helping us with the repo, also helping us with some of the end programming stuff. So he actually went ahead and did a build, actually give us an executable, even though the game doesn't work yet. He jumped in and he trimmed out stuff and he built it and set it up. So we have to load up this launcher though. Play it. Got a little logo popping in. We got our title screen. And then it's going to, after that, it's going to fade in on the menu. I haven't set that up yet. No, it's not doing anything. Uh-oh. Did I crash it? Definitely not responding here. Come on. Or working. This is still stuff we're tweaking anyway. I thought we got to see the logo and then everything crashed. Oh, okay. It just went away, so we'll reload up again. There. Cleaned up my desktop considerably. And we just wait. Starting. There it goes. See, we got our new logo, loader logo as well. Let's see that we've added that. Lots of stuff happened this past week. A lot of it was behind the scenes, so I really didn't get much programming done. But today I'm restarting, because last night I restarted actually, and started really noting down things. We've also moved up to the newer version of the editor. That was another thing we did last week, was update to 4.19. The editor works a little bit better in 4.19. We were getting flickering in some of the widgets when they were set to fill. Happen anymore. They fixed that in 4.19. Right, let's get back in here. I'm going to... That seemed to just crash it horribly, so we're just going to do it 2 players. And pretend we're starting from the launch level. Thing that Richard added. So we have the Unreal Engine 4 logo play. Our game starts. There. Got a menu on the first and then the second computer. So we don't need to launch that though, because that we're going to skip over that for now. Because we want to just test things. We don't want to have that popping up every single time I want to test. So I'm just going to go back to the main menu level. Continue working. So I want to see how far I've come along because I did some work yesterday. I moved some stuff around. It's probably going to crash and burn horribly, but let's show you what I got so far. So here's our nice little menu. It's all been nice and clean. Hey there, Jedi Colorist. Game's looking good. The maps are still a work in progress. Exactly, yes. Jedi Colorist is our map level editor. And he's the guy who designed this game. I'm just the guy doing the programming. So, gonna see how it works. Doubles. Not using his graphical 3D maps because again I don't feel like dealing with the load times. And then you can see our nice little chat, the little graphics that I used for the chat window here in OBS. I swiped it from our game, so figure I'll show off some of the game graphics in OBS with this. So we'll skip over the mulligan. Still see that the graphics work, cards work. We just drop the card and it goes over there. Pops up in the other player's side. Timer counts, and boom, 5 seconds has passed. Stray cat down. Now I had to move some of the code, and I'm going to explain that as I go here. I had to move some of the code, all the code, to the server. I had to remember to act like it's I got to act like it's a dedicated server because in reality it really is. Even though one of them has a client attached to it, you still got to have the server do all the processing to eliminate possibility of cheating. So the way I have it now, I'll explain it when I get there. I'll explain it when I get to that point. Right now, let's just throw some cards down and watch things explode. It's probably not going to work very well because, again, I changed a bunch of things yesterday and I didn't test it. Just going to skip over to this side. And we'll just continue to the scrap phase. Don't have the arrow. The arrow is not working. But the cards are. Arrow's not working. And that shouldn't be doing that either. Neighbor's not attack. Yeah, we haven't sent the actual data of what's attacking. The other controller has no idea what's going on. And we got a handful of error messages. Destroying the arrow actors that don't exist. Because they haven't been created yet. So I'm going to go back through the controller. Okay, so working with the controller. This here is where most of my work has been the past, I want to say, month or so. The button pressed, button released. This is happening on the client. Click itself has to be sent over to the server. So we have different. We go from pressed. We have is the player's turn active or not? Player's turn. So if it's not their turn, the only thing we do is we run if defending. That's going to come into play when we're in the defense phase, but we're not there yet. We're going to imagine that we're just getting started. And it's the player's turn, and he just pressed a button over a card that he wants to scrap. So we're going to go, it's going to come down here. He's going to click it. It's going to say, is it his turn? Yes, it is. What mode is his controller in? His controller is in the scrapping mode. Okay, we're going to follow it down that way. Right. Detect combat target. Checks the mouse location. The mouse over. It runs through this macro here. On that, which basically just looks at the object the mouse clicked. Pass to it as a card. Is it a card? Fails. It checks other objects like the board. Placement. This is where we'll eventually put things like if we want animals to make noises when we click on them, we got to put an object and then have it cast to a cow. And if the cow is true, then it make it moo. So in our case, we're going to imagine that the player clicked on a card. So this is going to send back true. And it's going to set this card as the hit card, send it out the other end, back to combat target. All right, so it's going to come out this end, and at the same time, the hit card is also going to be set. And then we're going to check the controller one more time, and we're scrapping. So we're going to get the owner's ID. We're going to see, does that player own the clicked card? Does, then server check scrap target. If not, this is a branch that I've created for a situation where the player can attack other cards, but we don't have that functionality yet. So really what it's going to do is it's basically checking the click. If it clicked on a valid card, send the valid card data to the server. So the hit card is sent to the server check scrap target. This function is going to jump the line. Let's see here. Have it running on the server. So target reliable and replicated to the server if owning client. All this we've done so far has been happening on the client. Nothing has happened on the server. Everything's been happening on either one or the other client. So we want to send that data to the server, and that's how we do it. Send it to an event here that's set there. All right, that's now anything that happens beyond this point is happening on the server. So this function here is going to happen all on the server. And this is what I moved. The distraction checks were being done on the client side before. Now they're being done here on the server. But I can't make them non-replicated because distracted and exhausted actually have rep notifies that make the icons appear on the card. So when they change, it updates everybody. Multicast thing, and then we got error messages that happen in case these things are true. Distracted, neighbor is exhausted. Right? If those true, we're fine. We're going to check to see if the card is there in the attacking cards array. Again, this is only happening on the server now. So if this is our first time clicking, this array is going to be empty. And it's going to send greater than -1, no. So it's going to check for a blocking card. Really haven't set up yet. But that's where it's going to check the opponent's side. It's going to check the opponent's hood for blocking cards. And if it finds one, it's going to say the opponent has the blocking card. And these are going to actually send to the controller. As you can see, it replicates to the client. And then, after that's been done, it returns there, or it continues down this line here. We're going to add the new item to the array. It's going to be the hit card. Check that out. So we're going to add our hit card here to the structure as the attacking card. We're going to put the board player of the opponent in target automatically. And then we're going to update the visuals, and this is the part I'm going to change today because I want this to happen on both clients simultaneously. So I don't want it to happen in just one place. I want it to happen on both clients. So that's going to be changed today, and then so it adds a new item to the array. I don't even know what this index is for. I was probably using it to read into the data. And then it sets the button. It sets the confirm button to enabled and sets the word to confirm on the big main button in the UI. That's this right here, this continue button. So that's basically how it adds a card. Now, say you've added a card and then you click on it a second time. Well, we're going to get back to the same exact place. Check. It's going to find the card in this array here. And it's going to say, okay, the player is clicking on an already active card. That means we want to disable the card. We want to unselect it. Just click on, click off, click on, click off. So this is going to be true. It's going to say, yeah, I found that card in here. Okay. We're going to get that card. Get the structure so I can see it here locally. Feed it in to update the target visual, and that's going to deselect it. Going to remove it from the array. Going to check and see if there are any cards left. If there are any cards left, we're going to turn the button off. So this is going to disable the button. So that's basically how it works. It's a toggle. You know what I mean? One click turns it on, adds it to the array, sets up all the graphics and whatnot, and the other one removes everything. So what we're trying to do today is we're going to update that function there, client update target visuals. It's going to happen on both computers. Here. Change this to multi. Multi. Multicast. All right, and then we're going to go from here and imagine that it's happening on both, which is why I need to play around with some things. All right. Getting our structure there, we're turning it on and off. So if this is on the other side, hit card's not going to be valid here. We're going to have to break this structure here because it's there. Place hit card, which is now only being displayed on the other computer. Well, I'll just move it up there and make it look a little neater. That's good. All right, so change here. That line again. So it knows where to create the arrow. It's going to grab the target player, put that one in there. Card, so we got to do the same thing over on this side. Might be easier just to pull it off here. It might be easier in the long run than having all these lines going everywhere. Local variable out of it. So this is how you make a local variable. You just snip that by holding the Alt button. Snipped. Drag off attacking card. Promote to a local variable. Call that local variable hit card local. There. That's going to pass the value of the hit card there. And now we don't have to have all those lines everywhere. We can just, card local goes in here. Actually, I could do this. Haha, there. Just reuse the variable. And now we're going to get rid of this one. That one's going to be outdated. It's not going to be replicated anymore. It's just going to be passed. That looks good. So if we did everything right, we should see the arrows appear now. See what happens. Tom Petty. All right. Well, looks like we got another viewer there. Hello, viewer. Let's throw a couple of cards down. I can only throw one down. I only have enough for one card that time. Wait for the timer to run out. All right. Another hand where I got all high cards. 5, 5, 6, 3. All right, I can throw out the rooster. I got enough for that. Happens here. Oh, wait, no. Gotta wait for the turn to end. There, now we can do it. Yay! The line appeared on both at the same time. Appeared, disappeared, appeared. Haha! So that is how a multicast works. And so we're not gonna need that extra part there. Fender goes like this, and that's gonna be multicast as well. But again, it doesn't know who's attacking or what right now. The client has no way of knowing that because I haven't sent that information yet. But now that that has been multied, same thing on the others. Okay, so continuing back to what I was saying earlier. All right, so we got check scrap target. That's basically the function that runs every time the button is pressed. Every time the button is pressed in the scrap phase. So when the scrap phase is over, this is what happens. This continue button is pressed. Clicked. All right. It's going to get the owning player of the UI. Client that owns that UI checks to see if it's their turn. That's true. It checks to see the controller mode they're in. If they're in scrapping, it's going to go to confirm scrap. So this is where we actually need to tell the no, because I'm going to be moving that to the server as well. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The confirm scrap is going to set the combat cards, and then it's going to do this up, but that's not even needed anymore because the arrow does it on its own now. Happens in both places. Don't need any of that. Yeah, and that's all it needs to do. So it just sets the cards for that player, combat cards, because we have attacking cards and we have blocking cards. Each controller has an array for both of them. But this is the attacker, so the attacker is setting attacking cards. And what that's going to do is it's going to use the player's ID and set combat cards player 1 or combat cards player 2. Depending on which one it is. So that's how it handles that server confirm scrap. So after it locks that value into the, basically it's sending the value from here in the controller where it's being stored. It's storing the values in the controller until they're ready. And then when we do this, we're actually sending them here. This is where we're going to process them to actually do the damage. So they have to make it there first. So we confirm the scrap. locks that value down, sends that value over, and then it moves the game into the defend phase. All that. All right. So back to the button presses, okay? So now we're in the defend phase, right? The scrap phase has passed. We're in the defense phase. So now it's the other player's turn. So when the attacking player clicks the mouse button, it goes here and it ends. There's no more processing. It just doesn't do anything after that. So, but the other player can now do stuff. So normally, if the player clicks when it's not their turn, it's just supposed to, for fun, spawn a particle interacting with the board when it's not that player's turn. But since we're in the defense mode, it is that player's turn because we're switching the side, and we're going to run the same. Function, but things are going to be slightly different the next time. So it's going to run the function, which again is going to do the same thing. It's going to check and see what's under the mouse, and if it finds a 3D card under the mouse, this is the card it's going to be. Right? It's over here, and now this is where things are going to branch. Player in the defending mode, yes they are, so it's going to go down this way. This way, and then it's going to say, is the player the owner of the card? If it's their card, it's the blocking card. If it's the other player's card, it's the block target. So these are the two functions we're going to move on to next. That has to be sent to the server. Yeah, check blocking card, check. So I'm still tinkering with that. So basically I've set it up the same way. It's going to send the hit card over to the server. Card to server, check blocking card. All right, it's going to do that little exhaustion check just like it did with the other card. Check to see if the hit card is already in the array, highlighted or not. Based on true or false, we have select and deselect. A couple of functions that I added that I kind of want to bring in line with the other one. So time to put my thinking cap on and try to figure it out. First thing we should probably do is set up that data here. No? Oh, wait. Want it like that. That scrap target. Here we go, here in block. This was the stuff I was working on the other day, and I played around with it, and I was tinkering, trying to figure out how to get it to work, and that's what inspired me to change everything all around. Fucking card. Happening on server. The server has access to that card's. Have to get the other players. To send the attacking cards as one big. I think that might be the better idea. That might be the better idea. So we're going to do it right here in this confirm scrap target. Send it to the opponent. So we're going to get both controller references there. Bring that back from the dead. And this time we're going to go opponent. from reference ID. Happening on the server, so that's good. Cast our stupid type. Attacking cards. There. So that should do it. That should set that value up. Replicated. Replicate it. It shouldn't need to be replicated now that it exists on the server's side of opponent attacking cards. It's happening on the server. Attacking cards. I think that does it. That'll set this value. This value will be ready here. Oh, if that card is attacking or not, and can it be targeted? So really the only thing we have to do is the visual, which is check scrap target block card. I like this song. So this is basically what we have to do. We have to do the highlights and all that stuff on the same. Does all the removal. Set. Got to remove the block arrow on both. On both. So this is also going to be a multi. We're going to change this over to a multi. Multi. Run it on both. Block arrow. Blocking arrow. Destroy the actor. Remove the actor from that controller's array. Okay, so. Oh, no, I just closed it. I'm going to rename this one as well. Call that one check blocking check. Check block target. Instead of set. Set is too much direct. You're not telling the server to set it. You're telling the server to check it, and then if it checks out, then set it. So on blocking card, this is going to multi now, and this also has to go to multi. Disable the highlight. Card is valid here. Card in there. Hit card, hit card. Yeah, hit card. Right there. This also has to be changed to a multi. That. Multi. Highlight. Multicast. Pilot. And all it does is just disable the highlight. There. where was I here? That's right, I moved it. It got moved. All right, so there's disable the highlight. Same thing here. I enable card highlight. It's going to change that to multi. Fast. Now that player ID might be a problem. That might be a problem. I could run it twice. Happening on the server. ID. Uh, I don't remember what I was. Player controller. There it is. These right here. Get controller ID. Both players. This is not going to be a multi. It still has to be a multi. Damn. Huh. Has to send it to the other controller's side. All right, so got to change one thing here. So this part needs to go. This part needs to go in there. Let's change this. Controller. Controller. Get controller IDs for both players. See, this controller stuff is what kind of messes with my head because I'm trying to see it in both dimensions. If we pass it the controller. Don't pass that. Oh, self. Get a reference to self. Get player controller ID. Turn the value. That'll do it. And now it's happening on both sides, so we don't even need this player ID thing. Just move this line out of the way. For me. So if this is going to happen on both, it's going to find out which one it is. And what I mean, it is a controller, so it's going to find it and set it. Update that now. Yep, and this is error. We don't need any of this. Grab that, drag it over here. Chop that out. Snaps to normal. We'll just move it over so it doesn't look so holy over there. Multi-enable, multi-disable. So if we could do that. No, that's... You don't need a player ID for disabling. You only needed it for enabling. Okay. So let's see what happens. It looks like everything's been set. And mulligan passed. Randomly chooses the turn. Front peg. Gotta stay hydrated. There. All right, we'll continue. Now we're in the scrap phase. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? What the... Why did it move the camera? That's wonky. Seeing a bunch of... Cooler with no attached player. Alright, so that just needs a... Yeah, I'm gonna start that over. That's horrible. Target visual. Alright, we'll set length here. Gotta move this down a little bit. It's out of my way here. Gonna branch this off here. Length. And -1. If the array actually has something in it, not even bother. It's right here, branch. Bypass that there. It's true, then destroy the actor and do that stuff. If there's nothing in that array, then we don't bother. Didn't create an actor at all. Yeah. Destroy the actor, remove the index. What is going on here? I got some stuff that's being really weird. Try it again. See if it changes the camera this time, or if it... I don't know why the camera changed. It shouldn't touch the camera at all. There we go. Mulligan. Good. Pop down Earl. Eventually I'm going to take that timer out. Just want to get this combat finished first and get some actual cards down that can do stuff. All right, let's throw down a Rodney. Okay, throw down Aunt Peg. We'll skip to the attack. Oh, no. Now, why is my camera going crazy? Why is it moving the camera? Can't even test it. I can't even test it. Now it's gone completely blank. Right, let's see what we got going on here. We got some weird widgets here. There's still some stuff that I got to work on. Seems to be happening at that spot there. Got to happen on both. What am I missing? card local. Active visual. Actors valid. Oh, we want to check here. Don't need that one there. We're going to check the other spot. Okay. Side so that I can test. Hero. Arrow. Target player. Okay, we got a value. Got a value as well. Okay, it's working. Nurse. Good now. Huh. Don't need that now. Appearing and disappearing at the same time. That died. Selected. Oh, screws up everything again. At least we know we're making progress. It's got something to do with that. Try it again here. It could be a value that's taking too long to update, and by putting this block in here, I'm making sure it updates. But that shouldn't be happening. Afternoon with Cecilia up in my bedroom making love. I got up to wash my face. When I come back to bed, someone's taking my place. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're taking my confidence, baby. Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please. Home, home. Oh, 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 oh. That's scrap. And looks good. Looks good. Yeah. But it's also this side is the client and that one's the server. Yeah, as soon as I click on it, it goes over here. Problem. Kind of wanting the other one to get the turn first. One of those things about leaving it up to chance. Got to try it a couple of times until the engine gives you what you want. Yay, there we go. All right. No dropped frames. Stream looks good. Got a rooster. Nothing here is going to let me play. Oh, wait, no. Great grandma's still 5. Yep. Okay. It definitely has something to do with the client. Look at here that goes crazy on the client. Back to the old drawing board here. Question is it the highlight or is it the drag actor? I'm going to do this one again. That way we can check the value there. But again, this time, hope that it starts up with this player as the main player, first player. Never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be. Oh, no, it put this one as the first player. See, again, I can't test it. I can't test it if that's the first player. Make this player 1. Roll the dice a couple of times here. Nope. The dice are just screwing me today. No! Ah! Like it's messing with me because it knows that I'm trying to get that one working. Oh my god. 5 in a row. Yay, finally. Eh. And we scrap. Boom. Good. Structure's good. Nothing. Causing that. After. Side of this. It happens here. Over to here after, and we'll see. If it's doing it there, we'll go to another place. Kind of narrow it down. I should probably check the log too. I'll put this on the other screen for me to see. Oh. All right. Now I can see the output log. Putting me on opponent's turn. Again, 3 in a row. Hate it when it just seems to favor the other client now. No! Come on! One of those things that only happens when it's in one configuration. If it does it one more time, I'm probably going to go in there and put in a dev code. Yay! Your turn. Random. Right? Scrap phase. Turn, hit continue. Select. Receive invalid swap message with child index 1. Huh. That. Damn it. Now I'm stuck in that mode. Valid swap message. Child index. That up. Before and swap. Cannot multicast and play a controller. Not every client has a controller object. Huh. Okay. So I gotta move it out of the controller. Have the controller be telling the game mode, game state. Have it moved out of the game state. All right, so this all needs to be moved. I need to take a break. I've been on this for about an hour and a half now. I need to take a break, but I will come back and finish this in a little bit. So I'm taking a break. Be back in maybe a half an hour or so. All right, everybody.